Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes. Let me welcome the participant first, then uh, a confirmation of what I reported over a month ago about a secret deal between TPLF and Eritrea. Let me welcome the participants first, then I'll explain everything. Aman Washe, first viewer who commented. Aman is a member too. Special welcome, Aman. Members are those who buy a membership. They're not, they're different from subscribers. Subscribers can also become members. Membership link is given in description section of videos and this live chat. Click the link that will take you to membership page. Thank you, Aman, for joining. Secondly, we have Bashe. Bashe is a viewer of My Vision News for a long time. Welcome, Bashe. We have G here. Mihari joined too from Tegra. He says, hi, Sajid. You're traveling a lot nowadays. Yeah, but I'm in Pakistan. I'm not abroad, just in another city in Pakistan. Tola joined to welcome Tola. Tola has also been part of live chats very regularly. Birhan Kasate here. Peace and Love joined to welcome Peace and Love. Peace and Love says, I hope you're feeling better. Yes, I'm better, Peace and Love. I could not conduct last night's live chat. I'm feeling much better tonight. Thank you for asking. Blue joined. Blue says, Eritrean troops deployed to Major town, according to Ethiopian government news agency. I don't know. I'll report only after I get confirmation. Ilori joined to Hajar. If they deploy troops there, what's wrong with that? Bushra Hassani says, you are so poor in information. Well, Bushra, why don't you just be precise? What information are you talking about? Where did I go wrong? Which mistake did I make? Could you elaborate? We have Dane Akobe Jacob Jericho joined to says, it seems vacation starts before summer. Well, I visit countries round the year. When it's summer, I go to the countries. There is touristic weather in a part of the world throughout the year. Southeast Asia is the zone where I think throughout the year, weather does not change much. So you can visit there anytime. I visit Azerbaijan. Yes, summer is the ideal season for there to visit. In Pakistan, we have very harsh winters and very hot summers. And whenever there is very harsh winter or hot summer. I try to travel. Abi Wundi Magagne joined. Welcome, Abi. Bilacho Macbebe here. Ahmad Muhammad says, Mr. Sadi, thank you for your updating us without bias. Thank you, Ahmad. Mojo here. Mojo says, confirmed by who? I'll explain myself, Mojo, then you can decide. I think it's confirmed now. According to my understanding, which I want to share with you, then you can decide. Alim Simple Food here. Dagam Alimayo says, can we evade the offensive from Egypt and Eritrea? A question of the topic, I would say. Uh, in coming videos, we can talk about it. Mandela the Great said, what do you want to create conflict in the Horn? Now, this is the problem. People don't understand the difference between conflict reporting and conflict creation. Those who take sides in conflicts, they actually ignite conflicts. Those who point out the reasons behind conflicts, those who point out the players who aggravate conflicts, those who try to promote peace by reporting about conflict, they're not conflict entrepreneurs. They actually try to avert conflict. So try to understand. People want me parties to conflicts, which I don't want to be. I don't want to support Amhara Fano fighters or Ola or TPLF or Ethiopian government, Eritrean government, ENDF, EDF, Eritrea, Egypt. No. I only report what they're doing. Each of these parties want me to support it in its narrative. Each of these parties is involved in creating conflicts. I am pointing out what they're doing. Instead of appreciating me, you're calling me a promoter of conflicts. What should I say now? Bushra says you are mostly informous, late information. Well, you were saying something else. You were saying you're poor information. Poor information is different from late information. Why do I report late? There are two reasons behind that. Firstly, I think it's better to report late than to report wrong, I think. We should verify things. It's my responsibility to verify everything before I report. Secondly, I face language barrier to, I have to get everything translated. It takes time. Then you cannot trust a translator fully. I have to get multiple translations. Billacho says Pakistanis are being expelled from India. That is unfortunate. Several viewers asked questions in comment section of videos today, yesterday, that Sajid, there is threat of war between Pakistan and India. You're not reporting about it. It's not that I am deliberately avoiding it. Problem is that I don't know what these two countries are doing. I am in Pakistan. I don't know what Pakistani military, Pakistani government are doing because I am fully focused on my work. My work is about the Horn of Africa. That is why without proper research, proper understanding of issue, you should not make videos on the topics, on those topics. But generally, I can say there is no war coming between two countries. Why? Because both are nuclear powers. There could be limited confrontation. Both back proxies against each other. Both have been interfering in each other's countries. It's ongoing for decades. It will continue. They are killing their people and each other too by adopting such hostile foreign policies. That's what I can say. I don't know much about what they are reporting, what they are claiming, what they're doing on the ground. Thank you, Mihari. Aman says, did you hear about youngsters being forced to join military in Oromia? Well, Aman did a video this morning. Do watch that video. Title of the video is that Ethiopia has built the largest military in its history. In that video, I shared a report from Adama where conscription is being reported, which is about forced recruitment in the Ethiopian National Defense Force. Do watch that, Aman. Thank you, Mihari, for buying the super sticker. Bilacho says, I wish I could visit rural Azerbaijan. Their food seemed delicious. I visited Baku. I loved Baku. The city has an atmosphere of serenity and calm. Music on the streets of Baku at the famous square there. That was fascinating to see. So I loved being there in Baku. I did not visit the countryside, the areas around Baku. Let me start, viewers. Can I start? Sam said, did you report about American embassy alert? I did not report it, but I know that they reported it. They talked about, they actually warned their citizens against participating in gatherings, demonstrations, etc. It wasn't very significant. Let me start, viewers. Let me start, please. Let me speak for around 10 minutes. Then I am here with you to read your comments and your questions. I will respond to your questions. I can read your comments too. But let me speak for a few minutes. Let me explain. Let me speak on the topic. Thank you. Just tolerate me for around 10 minutes. Then I think it will be clear. Uh, Title will be clear for you. Title of this live chat is Eritrea TPLF deal confirmed. Firstly, I was the first one, if you remember, who over a month ago in a live chat broke the news about 2-point deal between TPLF and Eritrea. I don't think anyone before my report spoke about it. I was the only one back then. I got that information through very reliable sources. And in that live chat, I said that the two parties, TPLF and Eritrea, held discussions. By Eritrea, we mean Eritrean military, PFDJ. When we say TPLF, Tigray military was also on board. Simple 2-point deal. In that deal, in that engagement, TPLF wanted assurance from the Eritrean government that if, and this deal was struck before Getachew was removed from Mekelle. TPLF was planning to remove Getachew from Mekelle, but it feared that federal government could intervene. It could mobilize military. There were fears. That's why TPLF went to Asmara. Their talks were held. TPLF got an assurance from Eritrean government that if TPLF tried to move Getachew from Mekelle and federal government mobilized federal forces to encircle Tigray, Eritrea won't support federal government so that Tigray won't be under full siege and Eritrea will allow TPLF, TDF, Tigray fighters to use Eritrean soil. Eritrea gave this assurance to TPLF, but Eritrea got one assurance from TPLF in return to nothing is free in this world, by the way. There's always give and take. I mentioned in that live chat, regular viewers would back my uh, report, back my talk today. I said that in return, Eritrea demanded one thing from TPLF. Eritrea said that if Abiy tried to wage war on Eritrea on the issue of sea access, TPLF Tigray military won't support Abiy. Either TPLF and Tigray military will support Eritrea or they will stay neutral, but they won't support federal government on this issue. This is what I reported over 2 months ago. I think if you search that live chat, you can find exactly the 2 points which I mentioned over 2 months ago. That deal was never made public. It was a verbal understanding. It will never be made public. No one will acknowledge it. But I said back then that coming days will uh, give us information which would corroborate this deal. The last few days developments indicate that the deal was definitely sealed with the two sides. Which developments? Two developments. Firstly, when Birhane Gebre Georgius met with Abil Said, Birhane is TPLF's mouthpiece, just like Abil Said is PFDJ's mouthpiece. When they met and they held a dialogue which is now available on YouTube, Birhane clearly said that Tigray does not want to be under siege again. That is why Eritrea matters for Tigray. This is what TPLF said to Eritrean government. And this is what Birhane said to Avil, public knowledge. You can watch that on YouTube. Point number one confirmed, which I reported over 2 months ago. This is what TPLF wanted, that it should not be under siege again. And for that, it needs to have partnership with Eritrea. Second part of the deal was confirmed today. Debretsion Gebremichael, TPLF chairman, has taken a position about Ethiopia-Eritrea tension. Debretsion said today that TPLF is not in power. It is not in a position to diffuse the tension between the two countries, Eritrea and Ethiopia. The two countries should solve their issues bilaterally through discussions. Tigray has suffered a lot. It does not want any new war. He urged international community to intervene to diffuse the tension. He was talking as if he was from another country. Who is Debretsion Gebremichael? Isn't he an Ethiopian? Doesn't he hold an Ethiopian passport? Doesn't he have an Ethiopian ID card? He was talking like someone living in Europe, living in Kenya, and who's not an Ethiopian, trying to talk about the issue between the two countries to which he is not related. This is what TPLF agreed with PFDJ in Asmara in that deal, that TPLF won't be party to any conflict between Ethiopia and Eritrea. So point number two confirmed today. Both points confirmed indirectly today, which I reported over 2 months ago. No one is asking this question, that how can Debretsion say that Ethiopia and Eritrea should solve their issues bilaterally? We have nothing to do with that. How can you say that? Because you are an Ethiopian. You're part of Ethiopia. You're not non-Ethiopian uh, individual. You represent Ethiopia. How can you say that? He said all this because this is what he agreed. His party agreed with PFDJ in Asmara. Now, when the deal has been confirmed, and so far both parties are committed to it. Eritrea is the beneficiary of this deal, I think, because uh, I think uh, TPLF has removed Gitacho. Federal government did not mobilize its forces against Tigray. Eritrea did not have to allow TPLF to use its soil. TPLF, on the other hand, is now required to show commitment to its part of the deal. That is, it won't be party to a conflict between Eritrea and Ethiopia. And it's difficult for TPLF to maintain this position. And interestingly, when Varede signed that agreement, that document, 8-1 document with the federal government a few days ago when he was appointed the president of Tigray, he signed it as part of Ethiopia. He said that he will do nothing against Ethiopian territorial integrity and sovereignty, and he will ensure that nothing happens which will be against Ethiopian sovereignty or integrity. But those in Tigray who are his allies, they're distancing themselves from Ethiopian sovereignty. I mean, if Eritrea Ethiopia war breaks out, it will be a threat to Ethiopian sovereignty, Ethiopian territorial integrity. What will they do now? Then what will the Debrecen do then? Will they say that no, we don't have any part, any role to play in this war? They have agreed to respect, to protect Ethiopian sovereignty, their integrity. This is what they agreed in Pretoria to. This is what they agreed in the 8-point document signed by Varade. But now they're saying that they have nothing to do with the issues between Eritrea and Ethiopia. TPLF committed to the deal with Eritrea. Abiy obviously won't sit idle. Abiy won't sit idle. Don't expect him to just wait for this alliance to strengthen and be a real threat to Addis Ababa. Now you can ask questions, viewers. So you can write comments too. Z says, how likely is the chance that this could lead to full-scale conflict between ENDF and the new EDF, TDF allies? Well, I don't know if war could break out or not. But I have been saying that 2025 is the year of Ethiopia-Eritrea tension. 2024 was the year of Ethiopia-Somalia tension. Luckily, that year ended with no war. This year, since the start, we have been seeing the two countries confronting each other. War is not likely in coming days or weeks. I did a live chat a few days ago. I told you about a 6-month window to avert this war. Ethiopian government is working on a strategy which will take around 6 months. The results of the strategy will be clear in 6 months. It might take longer. If that strategy fails, which I did not disclose in that live chat, then we could see threat of war. So far, no threat of war, but the two sides are on a collision course. They are building narratives, they are strengthening their capabilities, assessing each other's capabilities, ready for all types of scenarios. Open Mind says currently Eritrean is differing and Ethiopian is trying to attract. Do you agree, Mr. Sajid? I could not understand Open Mind. Betty Barry says, is Eritrea TPLF relationship personal like what Abu did before SAS? So do you believe it will have sustain it will be sustainable or not? Well, it's sustainable. Abi had the time, 2 year time to form an alliance with TPLF. He tried to divide TPLF. He tried to create divisions in TPLF. TPLF then, and still TPLF is not eligible to contest election. Its status unrestored. TPLF obviously wants to explore other avenues as well. Abiy will have to have a strong partnership with TPLF to break Eritrea TPLF alliance. Anything can happen, by the way. Over a year ago, TPLF Eritrea alliance was unimaginable. It happened. Tomorrow, we could see TPLF PP alliance. You can never say that this thing won't happen in the Horn of Africa. Anything can happen here. Somalia, Ethiopia were allies 2 years ago. Somalia was all praise for Ethiopia. Then last year you saw what happened. For Somalia, Ethiopia turned into an enemy state. Now they are back to business, working relation restored. So you never know about the future politics in the Horn of Africa. Abdi Razak says, do or die situation. If I don't rule, I will revolt. That's the situation in Tigray. The situation in Addis Ababa too. I mean, isn't Abiy adopting the same strategy? Is PP allowing anyone to exercise their right of political activity? Same is the case with TPLF. And same is the case in Asmara, PFDJ. It does not want to see anyone, any party, any media, any judiciary, no one, just just PFDJ. I think a lot depends upon the decision about the status of TPLF. If TPLF status is not restored, tension will continue between TPLF and federal government. If federal government grants recognition to Gitacho TPLF, that will further escalate the situation. Election almost a year away. And if TPLF is recognized to contest election, its status is restored, and it's allowed to sweep in Tigray, maybe then things will change, leading to improvement in relations between TPLF and PP. So I think coming 6 months are crucial. Dane Akube said, do you think TDF having logistical base strengthen them? What do you mean, logistical base in Eritrea? Eritrean Post says Eritrea will not help TPLF to regain Volkite. Volkite belongs to Amhara. What did Avil Said say, by the way, when Birhane Gebre Georgius implied that Eritrea could support TPLF in regaining Volkite? What did Avil Said say? Did he say that Volkite belongs to Amhara? Or is it your personal opinion? Fish Love says, how much are you paid from Fano or TPLF? You're always talking about the ego of those two enemies of the Ethiopian people. You see, I did not say a word about Fano. This live chat is not about Fano, but people come here uh, with their own set ideas, which they blindly, I think, made against the channel, against me, because I don't follow their particular narratives. This chat is not about Fano, and he's accusing me of being paid by Fano. Important question, last question, then I'll leave. Mulugata says, do you think those outdated TPLF leaders are capable to lead Tigrayans in this dynamic world politics? Well, it's not that they are democratically elected leaders, democratically leading their people. No, they're leading people by force. Military, TPLF on one page. So whether they are capable or incapable, they are here to lead. Just like PFDJ people. Whether capable or incapable, they are there. They are there to lead. Because no one to challenge them. They have killed all the challengers, imprisoned them, forced them to leave the country. Samson says, when will you talk about the real tension between Pakistan and India? I spoke about that at the start, light chat, Samson. Do watch that if you are really interested in knowing about the issue. Murki says, hello Sajid, thank you. And I thank you, Murki. I lost your comment. And this Unity says you're ignoring my question. What is your question? Where did the talk about Eritrea's support for Fano go? Doesn't Eritrea must choose between Fano and TPLF? Well, why should Eritrea choose between them? TPLF wanted assurance from Eritrea about use of Eritrean soil only. Did TPLF talk to Eritrea about Volkite? No, I did not report that. There was a just 2-point deal between TPLF and Eritrea, which I mentioned. Nothing about Volkite was discussed. So why should Eritrea just say that it will support only TPLF or Fano when it can talk to both of them? Murki says, what is the best strategy for Tigray? Yeah, this is the question. Ask questions which are thought-provoking. Best strategy for Tigray? I think it will be difficult now to create consensus on issues in Tigray. It's a big statement, but I think this is what will happen. You will see that. Tigrayans will remain divided now. Why? Because of the economic issues, because of the players which are increasing in number in Tigray. TPLF was the main player in alliance with TDF, but now TPLF is split. Split is not huge, but it's there. TDF split to some extent too. People like Tekla Asheber disagreed with military's backing for TPLF. Then the Tigray dissident fighters group is emerging too. Youths being silenced, but they want to speak. So it is difficult now to create consensus on any issue in Tigray. That's what I can say. Samael, I cannot read each and every comment. So many comments are being posted. McConnell says staying neutral is the best strategy. How can you stay neutral? Question is that you are part of Ethiopia. If you are, if TPLF joins the federal government too, if election are held simultaneously in the other part of Ethiopia, how can you say we're neutral? You're part of Ethiopia. You're not an independent country. Is this strategy viable or not? Being neutral, is this viable or not? Samael, no problem with the algo. So 38 minutes have passed. I think we should end the live chat. I'll be back tomorrow with another topic. Do give your opinion on tonight's live chat in comment section. I read your comments. Some viewers, only a few, only write hateful comments, criticize me, don't respond to them. But I write, I read your constructive criticism, your constructive comments, and sometimes I make videos on them to respond to them in my videos. You can contact me through my Gmail too, sajid67200 gmail.com. You can stay in touch with me there too. Thanks for watching. For me, the deal is confirmed now, TPLF Eritrea deal. But will TPLF be able to stay committed to it? I think hard times ahead for TPLF. I'll do a video on that in coming days. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.